What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Swish Life Garage. Your boy KT, as always. You guys already know. Today, guys, I'm actually going to be working on the 4th Gen Honda Prelude. If you guys have not been on the channel for a little bit, I do have a 95. It's the black one, SE model. I've had it for quite a while, since high school, since about my sophomore year of high school. So that was like 2011, 2010, and I have put quite a bit of work since then. Prelude does have a salvage title, so it has been in an accident, and that's what I'm concerned with, because the front radiator support is pretty bent. I don't know about if the frame is bent. I don't believe it is, but also the body has some body work and it's just not really looking too well. I haven't sanded it down to see what it looks like, but I don't think it's gonna look all that well. Now also, if you guys been looking at the channel, been looking at some of my videos, there is another silver 4th Gen Honda Prelude that is a 93. That one's automatic, but it does have a Texas blue title on it. Now I did sell that one to my dad a couple of years ago, so my plans now is to buy that one back because it has the blue title, it has a good body. From what I could tell, it has some previous body work, but it's not that bad. So what I plan to do is basically part out the black one. I don't know if I'm gonna fully part it out, or if I find out it has a good body and stuff like that, I might just sell it. So I'm quite unsure as of right now, but I'm gonna use some of the parts for the 93 Prelude and basically make it my project. That's going to be the one that I work on and just move forward with. Here we are, 93 Honda Prelude. This is just your basic SI model. It does have the SI wheels. It has some molding on here. This was added afterwards. A little bit of body damage, but of course, guys, this is a 93, so not really too much complaints on the paint and body. You know, you're gonna have faded paint, clear, the molding. The wheels are pretty well, the tires are pretty dry rotted, missing the chrome tip there on the exhaust. Does have the optional rear wing, which is the before the 95 model. The 95 and 96 do have a third brake light, LED third brake light on there. There's that body work. My brother used to drive this car, and someone actually hit him in college, and so that's how that happened. But really, this car is pretty straight as far as for the body, except on their windshield. It does have a crack on there, on that windshield, so I do have to get another one. And then the trim is missing on the window. Has the ugly blue interior, the navy blue interior. I mean, this is going to be your basic Honda. Whenever you buy it from someone, it's probably going to look like this or worse. Of course, it is automatic. Has a radio, aftermarket radio, and then some speakers in the rear. Was pretty faded back there. The sun been hitting it. This car doesn't have any tint on there, so see, the sun has been hitting those panels, but it's the blue panels. I'm not worried about it. I don't like the blue interior. It does have a 5th Gen sunroof swap with the slider. I do have a video on that, guys, if you want to check it out. But I mean, it's fully done, and it has a third brake light, which I did do the custom LEDs on there. And then for the roof, I did do the rear on the plastic panel, but I do want to make it look better, just because the roof does sit a little bit lower. As far as for the Prelude, that's what it's looking like. Let's go ahead and take a look at the engine. It's just going to be your basic H23A1 with the automatic transmission. My dad had just gotten it to a point where it was drivable. He also did the AC system. He changed it to the new refrigerant that they're using, but he did overfill it with oil for the AC system. So I am going to have to flush it and recharge the AC system, but shouldn't have an issue with that. As of right now, what I want to do is change out the oil, bleed the brakes. It seems like the brakes may be leaking somewhere. You could tell it's pretty empty. I'm going to show you guys the 95 Prelude also. I plan to change out the rims and tires on it, just swap them over since these are pretty old. Here's the 95 Prelude. I was trying to move it. For some reason, it will not start right now. I do believe it has to do with the main relay. Had this car for quite a while, like I told you guys. Does have brand new tires, and then the wheels, the SE wheels. And so these are a little bit, I wouldn't say rare, but they're a little hard to find. It's just been sitting for quite a while, and nothing wrong with it. It's just an older car, never got around to restoring or changing a lot of the seals on there. Now the motor on this one, guys, I did do an engine swap back years ago with the H22A, JDM H22A. And then the transmission is from a 97 Accord. It's the P2A5. So it does have longer gearing on there. Some people prefer it, some people don't like it, but you know, it's just all preference. It does have some aftermarket parts. I resurfaced the flywheel, stage 2 clutch. It does have an aftermarket fuel rail from Golden Eagle, RC injectors, and a chipped P28 ECU, but that was just a regular cheap tune on it that I had gotten from a guy off of Craigslist. S2000 master cylinder, and then it has the aftermarket clutch line, the steel braided clutch line that goes to here, and that's going to be pretty much it. Now for the interior, it does have the all black interior with the center console since it is a 95. And then it has the sunroof swap on this one as well from the 5th gen. It does not have a third brake light on it though, since it is the 95. 95 and 96 did not have the third brake light. But I mean, it's pretty clean. It's just been sitting quite a while. I have a lot of parts sitting in here, JDM parts, EDM parts, stuff like that. And then the leather seats, but it looks like they have a tear in them. So right now I'm just going to be freshening up the silver Honda Prelude. I am going to wash it up. I'm going to change out the oil. I plan to bleed the brakes and also change the wheels and tires. Possibly might get the other black 4th gen Honda Prelude started, because it'll be much easier to take off the wheels and tires on the concrete. But anyways, I'm going to get started on washing this silver one up. It's pretty hot out here, so let's get to it. Prelude all washed up. Already looks a whole lot better just being washed. Now the engine bay looks much nicer. Doesn't look all dirty, nasty. And already this engine is pretty clean. Like I said, my dad did do a little bit of work on it. To me, this car is a perfect base to start off on and start doing mods onto. Of course, I'm gonna have to fix some of the issues that it does have before I start modding. I'm gonna be bleeding the brakes and swapping the wheels on over. I cleaned up the black Prelude also, just cause I didn't wash the wheels exactly just yet. But whenever I take them off, I'm gonna give them a nice scrub down before I tighten them back onto this Prelude here. For this Prelude, it really looks like it has a lot of work done to it, and it's not good work. So obviously it has been painted. SE models only come in green. And over here, I'm thinking the quarter panel has been replaced. Seeing a lot of rust and Bondo about to come off right there. Also on the inside the trunk, there looks like there's some spot welds done. And right here, looking like some rust. I don't know if you guys could see it, but they are known for rusting, and Texas isn't really one of the places that it'll rust out on. I don't know where this car originally came from. See the rust bubbling up right there. Most likely some body work. And if you could see the waves on the panel, it's just really not looking the best. Definitely has a lot of parts that I can use off of it, and so hopefully it'll be a good parts car. I'm gonna start swapping the wheels on over and bleeding the brakes, and just get started. Okay guys, so I was going to change out the oil, do a full synthetic oil change, but I did speak to my dad and he said the oil probably only has about 700 miles or so on it, so I'm not going to be changing it out. I did check the oil level and right now it's on a slant, so it's kind of hard to read it. It was just a little bit low, so I did put a little bit synthetic oil and now that is good to go. So I'm not going to be changing the oil, I'm going to leave that as is for now. But the next thing I'm going to do is clean out the interior, just vacuum it up and just wipe the panels. It's pretty clean for the most part. Of course, it doesn't hurt to clean it, and it hasn't been cleaned in I don't know how long, so let's go ahead and get at it. Okay guys, so now it is all finished. You know, I did clean the outside, put on the wheels, bled the brakes, and I don't know if I already said it or not, but the brake master cylinder is what's leaking, is the reason why I have a spongy pedal right now. So I am going to be changing that out here in the near future. I did clean the windows, they were very dirty. The windshield as well, and the rear view mirror fell off, but it's all good. I was needing a new windshield anyways because it does have a crack on there. It's just a cheap windshield that had gotten done at a shop here in Houston. But I did wipe down the panels, vacuumed it up, and it looks much nicer now. And then here in the trunk as well, there's just a lot of parts, papers and stuff I had to get rid of. There's more cleaning I got to do whenever I start washing it more often. Of course, you got the jams and the door jams and the seals that need to be cleaned. See, like the seals right there. But of course, whenever I have more time to focus on, I already spent a couple of hours just cleaning it up, swapping out the wheels, bleeding out the brake, cleaning the outside, and so for now this is a good cleanup as the first wash.